Hello and welcome to Viewpoint on Ukraine Today, where right now we are joined by Sevgil Musaieva, the editor-in-chief of Ukrainska Pravda. Sevgil, thank you very much for joining us today.
Hello.
So as we sit here, there is a court case going on in Crimea. For viewers at home that do not know, Crimea has now been occupied by Russia for more than 2 years. This court case is seeking to ban the Crimean Mejlis. Now, they are claiming the Mejlis is an extremist organisation that are engaging in extremist activities. What can you say about this? Can you give us your opinion on this case?
Of course I can, because repression against Crimean Tatars started 2 years ago, after the beginning of annexation. First of all, for our leaders, Mustafa Dzhemilev and Rifat Chubarov, Russian authorities say no going to Crimea. Then they cancelled our ATR TV channel company. Then we have a lot of political cases against our activists. First of all, I mean this case of 26th of February and 3rd of May. First, it was about violence between Russian and pro-Ukrainian activists near Parliament building when annexation was started. And the second one, it was about when Mustafa Dzhemilev tried to go to enter to Crimea, and Crimean Tatars were here and tried to help him. And now case against Mejlis, it's point how to, of course, we understood that after this case, repressions will be very aggressive, because you know that Mejlis, there are more than 2,300 members of Mejlis. So after, when this organization will be like extremist organizations, we can have cases against 2,000 of Crimean Tatars, all members of their families. So now we can say that Crimea, after this case, can be fear of peninsula of fear. Now it's peninsula of fear. And yesterday I met with my friend from Crimea, and he was here just 2 days ago, and he said that this atmosphere is of fear. It's impossible to speak with natives, because they said, please delete picture with Mustafa Dzhemilev, for example, because we had case...
Delete from where, sorry? Delete from social
media
accounts?
Delete from social media accounts, delete from... because we also had a lot of searches during this year in Crimean Tatars families, and for example, in one family, they found only one picture with Mustafa Dzhemilev and a map of Crimea with just sign Crimea is Ukraine. And it was a criminal case against this guy, Crimean Tatar. And that's why he saw my friend said that he got all pictures from his native home to Kiev.
Okay, so he took everything from Crimea
Yes.
to Kiev. So you refer to Crimea as a peninsula of fear. Now, this is your home. So how do you feel about what is going on here against the Tatar people?
It's a terrible situation. My family left Crimea at the end of the year, because now I'm activist. I'm editor-in-chief of very important Ukrainian media, and for them it was very dangerous to stay in Crimea. That's why we decided that at the end of the year they left Crimea. It's terrible, and I was here 1 year and a half. Of course, we are in Ukraine, in Kiev, we are trying to do everything possible to help for these people. For first of all, IDP people, for Crimean Tatar
internally
activists,
displaced, yes,
internally displaced person, and for Crimeans now these criminal cases.
So can I ask you, Sevgil, are you able to return to Crimea? Are you able to return to your homeland?
No, but I hope that in future it will be possible, because for me it's my personal tragedy. I was here 1 year and a half, and when I was last time, I never can imagine that it will be my last time in my home, native home, because my parents moved, and now.
What would happen if you attempted to cross the border?
Well, 2 weeks ago, my journalist decided to go to Crimea because his father was in hospital, and when he tried to do it, people in board of this Russian, they gave for her document that it's impossible to her during 2020 visit Crimea.
Until 2020?
Yes.
Okay.
I think it will be the same with me, and it's not a good idea now to go to Crimea, because you know that here are some self-defense unions, Russian activists, and my position is position of enemy for them.
Okay, so it would not be particularly good for your health or your well-being. Okay. Let's bring this back to the Mejlis then. You have recently come back to Kiev from Brussels, where you're at the European Parliament. Can you tell us what you were doing there? As I understand, you were a representative of the Crimean Tatar people in the European Parliament. Absolutely.
Last week in Brussels, there was discussion about human rights in Crimea and freedom situation with freedom of speech in Crimea, and I was part of this discussion for freedom of speech because I'm editor-in-chief of Ukrainian media, and also I'm one of the co-founders of the organization Crimea SOS, and we published a lot of news from Crimea for freedom of speech, and we did last year interactive map with all human rights cases, also with freedom of speech. And I told for European members of parliament about terrible situation with freedom of speech in Crimea, because there are no independent media in Crimea. We have also problems with Ukrainian journalists, because for them it's very dangerous to go here. And also after the annexation of Crimea, a lot of media decided to leave, because for them it was impossible to go here in such situations, such conditions. And also I told about criminal cases against journalists. It's also a reality now. And about ATR TV channel company. It's also a TV channel company founded by Crimean Tatars. It's just one Crimean Tatars, and it's very important now to save this channel.
So this is the only channel for the Crimean Tatar people?
Yes.
And is this still broadcasting in Crimea?
No. They left, but they now work. This channel works from Kiev, but for Crimean Tatars, it's possible to watch.
It is still possible for them to watch it. Yeah?
Yes.
So you talk about freedom of speech in Crimea, and this phrase, freedom. Everything you say really shows that there is really no freedom of speech in Crimea.
No freedom of speech. It's territory without freedom of speech. It's absolutely true. And all Crimean journalists can say for you, because only propaganda media can work here. Only propaganda journalists can work here. All independent journalists left, all projects left. It's impossible. And for some journalists, it's possible, but they used usually pen names because it's dangerous.
Okay. Now, Sevgil, we are running out of time, but we'd be very interested to know about the response from lawmakers at the European Parliament, the representatives you were speaking to there. What was their response to what you were telling them?
They said that case against Mejlis, it's absolutely terrible.
And unjustified, as I understand.
Unjustified, and they asked Federica Mogherini to do everything possible to help with missions of European Parliament from Moscow. And I hope these missions will work during this process. They can go to Crimea and to do everything possible that this process will be open for media, for society. And they also have idea to organize Majlis office in Brussels, because it's very important now to help to Majlis with international support. It's very important, because if also Mustafa Jamilov last week was in New York in United Nations. He said about this terrible case, this absolutely fake process, and asked about everybody about support.
Okay, just one final question. As a representative of the Crimean Tatar people, if you could make one request to the European Council and the European Parliament, what would it be?
So difficult. To do everything possible to save Crimean Tatars, because if they cancel Majlis, if they said it will be extremist organization, it will be problem for Crimean Tatars. And it's a story not about just political support. It's about how Crimean Tatars, after first deportation, by Stalin in
1944,
after
yes.
Second World War, and after they did everything possible to come back to their native land, and now they have such challenge to live in this native land. So that's why it's very important to help for Crimean Tatars to save tradition, culture, language in this new reality, a reality of annexation of territory.
Of Russian occupation, yes.
Yes.
Sevgil, thank you very much for joining us. That is all we have time for. You have been watching Viewpoint on Ukraine today, where we have been joined by Sevgil Musaieva, a representative of the Ukrainian Tatar people and the editor-in-chief of Ukrainska Pravda. Thank you for watching.